Howdy folks, I'm Slimy Swish Chard, swiftly swiping stolen sample swashes.
I'm Amber.
And here are more stolen swashes for us to swipe. I'm not sure, you probably can just ask them for them. I don't think you need to steal the swashes at all.
I think someone else stole them and then...
Oh, so I'm retrieving the stolen swashes.
Yes.
Yes. Let's get started on this heroic quest to retrieve the swashes of doom, of destiny, the swashes of destiny. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Watching Inappropriate Shows While I'm Pregnant? I'm a 25-year-old female and I'm currently expecting my very first baby, and she is due in about 3 weeks. My husband, a 28-year-old male, and I are so excited to meet her, and everything has honestly been going great. Except for one little thing that just started about a week or so ago. For some context, I really enjoy crime shows like Law and Order, Criminal Minds, and things like that. I have been watching both of these series like 5 or 6 times over each. I have always watched and loved them. Well, a week ago, as soon as I hit 35 weeks, my husband suddenly decided that he did not like this. He told me that I should stop in case the baby hears. I honestly thought that he was joking, but he very much was not. He said that he is genuinely concerned about her hearing and subconsciously absorbing these heavy topics of the shows. To me, this is ridiculous. It was even funny because this was literally a topic of Criminal Minds. One of the characters was pregnant. But I told him not to worry, that she wasn't going to hear, and she definitely isn't going to understand. But he was so argumentative. He literally has been full-on stressed over this. To appease him, I have been watching other shows in my free time, but honestly, it just kind of annoys me. Am I the jerk for still enjoying these shows? Will I be the jerk if I still watch them? Alright folks, what do you think?
No, OP is definitely not the jerk here. Like, you are still a person deserving of autonomy. Now, his claim doesn't make any sense either because... a fetus can't understand English.
Yeah.
And so, like, no way can it absorb the themes of the show.
Well, and so much of language is body language and everything like that. And that's what kids kind of learn first, are like body language and those kinds of languages before even starting to learn like spoken language, right? And maybe they might be able to pick up on fear or other types of things, but if OP's watched these shows a bunch of times, then there's probably not going to be a huge emotional response out of OP either. So I would say, like, if OP was doing something that was stressing themselves out or whatnot, that might not be necessarily the best idea, but I mean, they're TV shows, the kid isn't going to understand them.
Yeah.
I mean, how many little kids understand these kinds of shows anyways, other than maybe there's something scary going on?
Right, like there's a scary music or something like that. It will, maybe, but that's about it. Yeah, like little kids, are not going to understand it. And so certainly a fetus also will not understand it.
Yeah, and I mean, I would ask your husband to put his head underwater and see how much he can hear of the shows while OP watches them, and then he'll have a pretty good idea about how much the baby can actually hear when OP watches these shows, and then maybe then he can be more concerned, but probably not. I don't think he'll hear much, to be quite honest. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Lamb's English says, not the jerk, and it's a small folly, but keep an eye on the precedent that he can come up with some bird brain BS and enforce it as a parenting technique. I mean, I think that's a good point too, right? Because like he may try to extend like controlling type of behaviors further.
Right, yeah. Oh, how dare you watch your crime shows when our baby's in the next room? They might hear it,
yeah. And Boeing 36780 says, I would nip it in the bud. You do not want him controlling you via alleged concern of the baby. Think of the children. Won't somebody think of the children?
Well, that's the thing, is like, OP needs to be able to exercise autonomy. Like, it's not like she lost her personhood when she became pregnant.
Yeah.
And this is not a reasonable level of concern.
Yeah. And Scarlet Darkstar says, I agree, this shouldn't be catered to. It's nonsense, and OP is an adult who also cares about the baby. She can make the reasonable judgment call to watch what she likes without her husband needing to intervene. Giving in to irrational requests isn't setting the stage for successful parenting. And, hi, I'm Dadbot says, you're the jerk. Those shows with many seasons and lots of running plot lines. How are you expecting a fetus to keep up with those ongoing stories? And Zen Blade Man says, this might as well be watching One Piece and expecting the baby to catch up in the magna once they're born. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Talking to My Daughter's Boss Because My Daughter Refused to? My coworker is a single mom to an autistic 5-year-old and goes to school at night. She needed someone to watch her daughter, so I recommended my daughter, who is studying early childhood education and special education and wanted a job in the field. My daughter is at their house 4 days a week and is so worn out from the little girl that she usually is asleep on the couch by the time the coworker gets home. Then my coworker tells her that she doesn't want her to drive home if she's this tired and offers to drive her home and have her get her car in the morning or for her to sleep on the couch. It's difficult for my daughter to get her car in the morning, so she usually chooses to sleep on the couch. This little girl got very attached to my daughter and will take her mom's phone to call my daughter and ask her to come over if she's sad or had a bad day or just misses my daughter. The ridiculous part is that my daughter will actually go over to their house if she's not doing anything when the little girl calls. Her rates are typically starting at $25 an hour, but she agreed to $16 an hour for $300 a week for this family and refuses to take more even if she works extra hours. My daughter says that there are extra perks, like she watches Netflix, Disney, and Hulu Max for free. They always leave her money for food, and food is in the fridge. And she gives my daughter some of her financial aid cards, about $50 a month for gas and $50 for Target, and doesn't listen when I tell her to start charging more. The final straw was last weekend. My coworker was maid of honor in a child-free wedding 4 hours away. She found an Airbnb with 2 bedrooms that she could afford and offered my daughter the master and said that she'll stay in the second room with her daughter. My daughter told her to take the master bedroom and offered to share with the little girl because my coworker will be getting home late and she doesn't want her to wake up her daughter. I don't know what she said or what she did, but the mom agreed. I told my daughter that she needed to start setting boundaries. It's ridiculous that she sleeps on the couch there half the week, works for less than minimum wage in our city, and shares a room with the kid when they travel. She refused, so when I saw my coworker that Monday, I told her what my daughter would be making if it was anyone else, that she should be able to drive herself home after babysitting, and that my daughter deserves her own room when she travels with them. She talked to my daughter about what I said that night, and now my daughter is mad at me and is saying that I turned this into something bigger than it has to be, and that she says I'm risking her job. Apparently, my coworker offered to switch her daughter's daycare to a late night one that will accept her child care subsidy once they have a space open. Am I the jerk? Alright folks, and I think there are some comments in here that are worth reading, so I'm going to read a few of them. First off, Sproutling429 says, Info, how old is your daughter? How long has she been working with your coworker? And OP replies, she's 19 and has been with them for almost a year. So an adult, folks. And R62442 says, forget if you're the jerk or not, introspect. Why is your daughter willing to sleep on someone's couch and work for them for much less than prevalent rates? I feel like she likes working in the home environment better than yours. Work on making your home a better place for your daughter. And OP replies, she feels bad for them and loves the kid. She brought the kid to our house a few times because their power or water got shut off, and the girl was cold or needed her bath. Then she doesn't let the mom pay her until the lights or water is back on and they have food in the fridge. Alright, so between those two comments there, I really think that those shed some light on here. One, OP's daughter is an adult, a 19-year-old. Two, you can infer here that the boss is
coworker.
not doing well financially. Yeah, OP's coworker.
Yeah.
So what do you folks think?
Yeah, I think Opie's a major jerk here. The daughter is an adult. She is old enough to make her own decisions. And it seems like she's a very kind person. You know, I was in a situation a little bit like this when I was about her age, where I had a babysitting gig where I was being paid less than my normal rates, but I also knew the mom couldn't afford to pay me more. And so it wasn't about the money. It was about doing something for someone in need. Mm-hmm. And it seems like that's what's going on here, is that the daughter really values the child she's looking after, wants to make sure that she has, a safe and comfortable environment, and props to her.
Yeah. Well, and then also, I have a couple things here, right? First off, I want to kind of address that this woman is going to college or school at nighttime, right? That's what I got out of this, right? So she's going to school at nighttime, working also, taking care of a kid, And I think that OP's daughter is being instrumental in helping her potentially advance her career and her life, right? So that she won't be in a place where her lights are getting turned off and her power is going out, right? And her water is getting turned off. And I think that OP is being extraordinarily callous to, look at the situation and say, my daughter's being taken advantage of. That she doesn't have the money to pay your daughter more. She doesn't have the money. What do you want? You can't get blood out of a stone, right?
Right. And, I would understand OP's concern more if the daughter was always coming home distressed, and felt like, oh, I'm being so overworked and I don't know how to say no. I mean, even then it's still dicey because the daughter's an adult, but like, it seems like the daughter is perfectly happy with the arrangement she has.
Yeah.
It may not be a position that OP would want, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong for the daughter to take it.
Yeah. And then the second thing I want to talk about is this. OP spends an awful lot of time trying to advocate for their daughter, but it doesn't sound like they've done any advocating for their friend, this coworker at work, right? You're all about talking to bosses. Maybe you should talk to your own boss about why this person's so not getting paid so little that their power is getting turned off and whatnot, right? Like, to me, that seems like the bigger issue here. Maybe if she was getting paid a living wage, your daughter would be getting paid what she, deserves to earn here. So maybe that's the real problem. And I'm not saying that OP should talk to the boss here, but if I were going to talk to one of these two people personally, I would talk to the boss as opposed to this coworker here who is just barely getting by, right? So I think that OP is asking the wrong questions, to be quite honest. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing to Give My Niece Pizza We Had and Making Her Eat Peanut Butter Instead? I'm a 30-year-old male, and my niece Penelope, a 13-year-old female, has been staying with me for 4 days while her mom is away on a business trip. Having her here has been a massive challenge. She's bratty, spoiled, and entitled. She throws a fit like a toddler when she doesn't get exactly what she wants when she wants it. She will literally scream and kick and throw herself to the ground. I've been doing my best to deal with it, along with my own family. 2 nights ago, we decided to order takeout for dinner from a pizza/sandwich shop. I allowed everyone to pick their own entree. Penelope looked at the menu and declared that she didn't want anything on the menu, that it was all disgusting, and she wanted sushi instead. I told her that we were ordering pizza from a pizza place and that she needed to pick something off the menu. She threw my phone at me and refused to tell me what she wanted. I told her clearly that if she wasn't going to find something on the menu, that she would be stuck with peanut butter and jelly. She refused. Meanwhile, my 2 boys decided that they would order a small pizza to share. Before I called in the order, I once more asked Penelope if she was sure. I listed the pizzas, salads, and sandwiches and sides and the kids' meals that they had. She didn't even acknowledge me. I ordered for everyone else. An hour later, the food arrived. I plated everyone's order, and I made peanut butter and jelly for Penelope. When I brought the pizza out, Penelope said, "Oh, there's pizza. I'll have that." I answered, "No, the pizza was for the 2 boys who ordered it, and there might now be not enough to share." She lost it, screamed and cried, and called me names. I ignored her and carried on serving and eating dinner with the family. She eventually chose to eat crackers. Well, my sister came to get her this morning, and Penelope told her how terrible I was for not giving her pizza when the boys got it. My sister was angry, saying that I could have asked the boys to share some or ordered a pizza for Penelope. And while I could have done those things, I didn't want to. Penelope made her decision. I warned her of the consequences, and I didn't feel like I needed to fix the situation she chose. So who's right here? All right, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. I mean, Penelope is 13. She is old enough to make choices. She made a choice, and now she has to face the consequences of her actions. It's important that she not always just not everyone cave into her and she always gets her way. It sounds like she's already very spoiled, and she needs to learn that that's not how the real world works.
Yeah, I do want to point out that in the comments it does say that she is the daughter of like multi-millionaires, right?
Yeah.
So she's born with a silver spoon in her mouth. She can have anything she wants anytime she wants it. She's not wanting for anything here. And a peanut butter and jelly sandwich isn't going to hurt her for one day here.
Right. I mean, I hope that this time with OP maybe teaches her a lesson. I doubt it will, because her parents will just spoil her with whatever, but it would be nice if she actually realized, oh, hey, maybe I shouldn't treat everyone like garbage and demand I always get what I want.
Well, I think that this is an important consequence, right? I hope that she does take something away from this and understands that she can't always demand and boss people around and get exactly what she wants. That's not how life works. And I mean, maybe it'll work that way for her.
Yeah, unfortunately, if she's got that kind of money.
Yeah, but I mean, in general, that isn't the way things work out. And maybe, hopefully, she ends up learning that sooner than later. I'm just kind of concerned that Penelope is going to end up growing into a spoiled, entitled adult. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Is this Smith, 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 and Smith? Yes, ma'am. Could I speak to Mr. Smith? I'm sorry, but Mr. Smith is on vacation. Oh, may I speak to Mr. Smith? Then it's very important. I'm sorry, but Mr. Smith is also on vacation. Oh, well, it's quite urgent. It's quite urgent. Let me speak to Mr. Smith then. Sorry, Mr. Smith is on vacation too. I'm really desperate. Could I speak to Mr. Smith then? Speaking.
No, Jovial Bob sign, no. And I have licorice spice. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy, wonderful Wednesday, folks. I hope your Wednesday is going great for you. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it in the form of a haiku for Haiku Wednesday.
Don't boss your loved ones. Don't tear them down, because kindness makes the world go round.
Sure, I think that works. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye!